Hello, and we are a little bit early, but I wanted to get this party started a little bit because we have somewhat limited time. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. And we're coming from my dining table, kitchen behind me. All right, I'm just going to double check and make sure I am live on YouTube and in Facebook. Let's see here. Am I Pleasure Queen Collective? Let's see. I am. I'm there. Okay, beautifuls. And I'm going to check on YouTube. Let's see. And if you're here, say hello, leave a comment. You guys might be coming in shortly. Yes, I am live. I love this. So yeah, so I've got this amazing dual broadcasting tool called Be Live. And it's fantastic. It works great. So, all right, welcome to Accessing Your Genius Within. All right, so I love teaching this class. Basically, this is based on my book, Return to Enchantment. So I'm going to show you the book here. Let's see. Make sure that I can actually shrink the camera so I can see my notes and see your comments if they come in. And I hope they do. So I'm going to read some passages from here. And just so you know, there's a free downloadable PDF on my website. So go to chrisseraphine.com. And if you click on my offerings, there's a red drop-down menu and you go down to my book. And you can literally just click on a link and download basically what I'm going over today, like the first 2 chapters of the book. And it's free. You don't even need to put in any sort of email. You just download it, read it, work with it. This is great. So today, I'm calling you to claim the life that you've been desiring to live. The magical life that's really just pulsating in your heart and also out in your field, in your energetic spiritual sphere. And really, when we talk about pathworking magic, and of course, anytime we're working with archetypes, we are really talking about psychology and the real meaning of psychology, right? So psychology is made up of 2 Greek words, psyche and logos. So psyche means the soul, butterfly. It's also a goddess, right? So psyche usually translate as the breath that animates. It's the soul. And logos translates as speech, language, logic. So really, when we're talking about psychology, which is the backdrop or the more scientific study of magic and alchemy and pathworking, right? Psychology really is and means the language of the soul or the speech of the soul. And there's a lot to unpack here. So we're just going to dive in. Are you ready, my divine ones? Let's see if anybody's here yet. Nope. So maybe more of you will be around for the replay. So today's class is going to be a little bit on the short side because I am beginning a new 6-week intensive today, right after at 10 a.m. called Miracles, Magic, and Money. And we're going to talk about how to work with our 12 main chakras to create alchemical essences so we can heal and birth this new life that we've been dreaming of, that we've been desiring, and birth this new world into reality. So the other part of the 6-week immersion is practical magic for your business, where I'm like today, I'm going to walk everybody through planning this final quarter of the year and planning into next year, 2023, using planetary wisdom. And throughout this intensive, I'm going to be looking at your offers, really making sure that they're on point and really magnetic to your clients. So that way you make a lot of money and bring in this prosperity that you desire to create this life, this magical life where you can travel, take vacations, relax, get a spa treatment, right? We all know the past year has been, for most people, the money has been kind of up and down and all over the place. At least that's what my clients have been telling me who are in the healing arts. So the Miracles, Magic, and Money 6-week intensive is really about working with healers, creatives, entrepreneurs, right? Not to say that other people can't take it, but it's really designed for those people to be able to bring that alchemy, that psychology, speech of the soul through their business by working with alchemy of their spiritual centers. It's exciting work. So I've never taught this specifically. And I usually have taught, archetypes. As we know, archetypes are the 4th dimension. It's really important to learn to work with the archetypes so you can, begin working in the 5D much easier. And so what is 5D? 5D is the realm that is basically where creation, spontaneous quantum healing creation happens, right? Okay. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about the course and the intensive. There's still time to jump in. It starts at 10 o'clock in an hour, right? So no better time than the present to really begin working on your alchemical elixirs, okay? So we're going to move into our class for today. And some of what this class is about is really intimately connected to the ancient and modern practices of the alchemy materials you'll learn in the 6-week intensive. All right. So in case you're meeting me for the first time and taking a class with me the first time, I'm Chris Seraphine, and I'm a channel of the divine feminine. I'm a leading archetypal strategist. I'm a marketing content teacher and business coach. And I'm the author of the book, Return to Enchantment. I have more coming, and I'm going to be teaching less probably the rest of this year so I can focus on getting my other books done. It's just, for me and for, again, so many of my clients, focus is a huge thing, right? So we've got to focus. So what I stand for is helping people create magical livelihoods that stand the test of time and that bring them abundant pleasure and prosperity. So we want to create this life, this legendary life that we know is ours. And, I've seen a lot of people talk about, well, I deserve this or you deserve this. I just want to take that whole deserving thing out of the equation because it kind of turns into a minefield of, I don't know, expectation isn't really the word I'm looking for, but I would say that I command it in. That's how you call in what you want, is you command it in. And that doesn't mean always we're going to get it right away, but we're going to get it. And the speed and the grace for which we manifest has a lot to do with our ability to surrender. So these skills, these tools are really to help you do that. I started my entrepreneurial path in 2011 and 2012. And before that, I was basically working in corporate, but I was very entrepreneurial in my approach. I feel like I was always an entrepreneur. So even if you work for a corporation, or you're collecting a paycheck from somebody, that you could still have that soul and that spirit of the entrepreneur. And so that was how I approached everything at my jobs. And I worked at some of the largest, most well-known brands of the world: E! Entertainment Television, Paramount Pictures, Disney, ABC, Perry Ellis, Laundry by Shelley Siegel, Go to Meeting and Go to Webinar, just to name a few. Okay, so we're going to jump into this divine masterclass and make some magic together. And I think I see one person here. I see two people. Fantastic. Okay. Sorry, it's a little bouncy because I'm on trying to use this, prop up my computer. So our agenda quickly for the next like 25 to 30 minutes. We're going to talk about what is soul work and how it's related to alchemy. We're going to talk about imaginal practice, which I'll refer to as IP throughout the discussion. And then we're going to end with the 7 mirror meditation, where you meet your inner world guides who really are that genius within you. And this is so powerful. I didn't get this beautiful lady's permission, but if you are part of the Pleasure Queen Collective, you can go in. I pinned her post to the top of our group page, but basically I gave an extra credit assignment in our last class, Playing in the Field of Possibilities, where you approached your business for just the day as a particular character or an archetype. So she chose hers, and she reported that let's see. She worked like this character and approached her business like this character for the day, and that actual day landed a brand new client. So when we get out of the way, get out of our ego, get out of our heads, and really surrender to the life force, the genius within us, and let that guide the way, things happen faster, easier. Okay. So that beautiful woman won herself a free strategy session with me, and I'm charging like $550 these days for that. So it's the dealio. Yeah, I'm not an hour early. Someone's on Facebook right now. Yeah, this was supposed to start at 9 a.m. And for some reason, my email, instead of going out at 8, it went out at 8:30. So there's all kinds of technical weirdness. But yeah, so this is basically a free mini class, accessing your inner genius through pathworking. So I'm starting a class at 10 a.m. it's a part of my 6-week intensive called Miracles, Magic, and Money. So that's something else. You have to sign up, and that's a paid offering. This is a free offering. So, okay. So we're going to go through, I'm going to read to you because it's just, the way I wrote it is really beautiful. And like I said, you could download this whole section from my website for free. So do it. Okay, so soul work is alchemical. If you went in search of it, you would not find the boundaries of the soul, though you traveled every road, so deep is its measure. And that was Heraclitus. To dive into the depths is to enter the realm of soul. When we talk about work, career, and livelihood, we are talking about soul in action in the world. James Hillman, like Jung before him, postulates that if psyche is image, then why not go on to say that images are souls? And our job with them is to meet them on that soul level. So when he's talking about images or souls, he's talking about the archetypes, that there's something about the archetypes that are alive within us. So to brand with psyche at the forefront is to bring into visibility your very soul. Big stuff. We often wait for someone or something to give us permission to follow our own true path. It's easier to follow someone else's example than to find out what lies within our hearts and follow that truth. This often stems from situations where we were made to feel ashamed of who we are or embarrassed about our beliefs. Many of us were told as children to be seen and not heard. Our voices completely choked off. From adolescence through early adulthood, society pushes us out into the world with no rituals of selfhood and no rituals of fortification. We long to be accepted, acknowledged, to love and be loved. We become human pretzels, bending to match the desires of those around us. We lose our way, our path, our light, and our voice. So it's no surprise that we follow the rules and disappear into the woodwork, and we are ultimately afraid to outshine others. This is a big one. So much of what holds entrepreneurs back is this unconscious fear of outshining others. So what happens when you outshine others? They may retaliate in some way. They may reject you, abandon you. So these wounds that we get from childhood, these wounds to the very soul, can really set up a landscape where we don't thrive and we don't prosper. And instead we become slaves, right? To what do other people want? What's acceptable? And, most of us don't, say this consciously, like, yeah, I want to be acceptable. But, deep down, there's that small child who's been wounded, who has been rejected and abandoned. So, when we then move into the world as professionals, as light workers, healers, writers, artists, musicians, even CEOs of businesses, we're all made of the same stuff. We're all dealing with the same set of soul alchemy and archetypes, right? So it's my intention that the work you do in this book will help you formulate your own rules and allow your light to radiate your unique personality. In each chapter, I will demonstrate ways to begin working with your own materials, your prima materia. So the alchemists always had prima materia, and the idea was to turn lead into gold. And there's always, interesting commentary and arguments around what alchemy actually was and is. So again, we're going to really go into this in the 6-week intensive. But, most, if not all of the writings that we have found from ancient times about the alchemists were written by men. And they always talk about the different archetypes of the lead, of water, of the sun, of salt, so all of these prima materia or materia, the prima materia is really like the lead. It's the shadow. So all of those have a soul. They're all archetypes. So again, if we look at Hillman's archetypal psychology, which came out of Jungian psychology, images and archetypes are souls. They have almost a life of their own, a personality of their own, and they are also part of us, which is why when we talk about accessing your inner genius, we are talking about accessing those inner little pieces of ourselves, those inner little souls called archetypes. And I said this at the beginning, but I'm going to just keep saying it, that archetypes are part of this layer of reality that we often call 4D. So the fourth dimension is this place of, working very connectedly with image, with the deities, with gods and goddesses, with archetypes. And once we begin to really embody those archetypes, we can start more easily being grounded enough so we can move up beyond the 4D, the fourth dimension, okay? So I want to talk now about imaginal practice. And I might read some of it from my book, but let's see what page. Yes, methods of inner work. So it starts on page 27. So imaginative play is something that I developed to use with my clients. I started using it myself. And it is very, very closely based on Jung's active imagination with some differences, fairly major differences. So active imagination was Jung's process of dialoguing with the unconscious selves. So what we're doing is, in Jung's work, is we are going into a meditation of some sort every day. And, Jung, needs to be pretty much every day at the same time. And you get out a journal or some sort of implement to write or create or draw the messages. So active imagination is a psychological practice that involves intense engagement with the figures of your inner life. So now, this is very similar to imaginative play, which I use, but imaginative play is a little more directed. So imaginative play is you can approach active imagination in probably a similar way. I just don't really know if it's actually called active imagination if you are working specifically with a specific, let's say, goddess, let's say Venus or Isis, or a god. Maybe you're working with Ganesha or Shiva. Usually in active imagination, it's a lot more, I think, personal. So we're going to really tap a little bit more into this personal source. I'm going to lead you through a meditation. Just again, a few things about imaginative play so you get the idea. But again, download this. It's free, a free PDF on my website. Okay. One of the differences between imaginative play and active imagination is that in imaginative play, we consciously choose which being we want to work with. In active imagination, you allow the voices to come spontaneously without setting any intention of who you're speaking to. So how I see imaginative practice is a way to get your feet wet so that you can start to flow into active imagination if you want to. And you pretty much get the same benefits as active imagination from my point of view. So imaginative play allows parts of you that have been denied, repressed, or forgotten to have a voice. This practice involves relaxing deeply and emptying your mind, except for a specific intention. The voices of your unconscious bubble up to be heard and seen by your conscious mind. The imagination is the sacred space where the divine inhabits us. So there's a lot more in here, but I don't need to go on too much. But what I want to say is that the writings of the alchemists also talk a lot about this sort of processing and reprocessing, as that's part of the alchemical process. So when we do imaginative play, it's very similar. There is this process that you kind of go back to again and again, and it could be working with this particular god or goddess or archetype and really learning all its facets and building a bridge there and making a relationship with this, right? And that's part of how we make the unconscious conscious, is we make relationships with pieces of our unconscious. Okay. So the benefits of imaginative play are reduces overwhelm, exhaustion, and burnout. It's really true. Reduces feelings of being disconnected or alienated, increases confidence in your decisions. It increases creativity because you play a more active role than in traditional meditation, and transforms your business and more alchemical integration. So I try to, work on this particular part of my life and my business and myself about 20 minutes a day. Usually in the morning, early morning works for me, but do it at a time when it's most quiet around you, okay? All right, so we are going to do this exercise called Unmask and Personify the Faces of Your Brand, page 66. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into a meditation and imagine that there's a hall with 7 mirrors. And as you go to each mirror, a different face, personality, character will come out. And these are all aspects of yourself. So I'm just going to read you a couple of examples. So one of my figures that came out for me the first time I did this exercise was a beautiful, elegant young woman. She was saucy, sassy pants personality. She was a singer for a rock band. And she wants me to have a mermaid rock band and be in front. She likes being in the spotlight. So this is a being, an archetype that lives within me, that's related to me, and carries a piece of my soul that for a long time I did not want to be a leader. And here I am teaching and leading. So in this essence, I have integrated her energy because I'm living it. And I also, I'm not the singer for a rock band, and nor do I want to be, but I am kind of like the star of my own show here, right? Just like if you are teaching or leading in some way, you are also doing that. Okay, another image that came through was the naked mermaid named Sandrine, who's an erotica writer, and she was once a stripper, and she's a proud nymphomaniac. Well, I'm integrating her more and more. I integrated her a lot last year. I actually have been writing an erotica story, and she is the star. Okay, so the third one is a sword-wielding warrior woman, Freya type, wants to save other women and girls, keeping them from being taken advantage of. She smells bullshit a mile away and totally speaks her mind, no filters, and tells it like it is. I would say I'm less this person, and I have not integrated this person as much, and I would like to. I feel like that is an energy that's very needed. Mystical healer woman. She's very motherly and exudes wisdom, and she's been with me for thousands of years, and she's a solitary priestess and needs lots of quiet time. That's been me for most of my life. There's a traveling minstrel storyteller, gypsy woman. And then the last one is actually, was interesting, was a wanderer, a man, a maverick who travels alone but pines for romance in his life. Dark skin, long hair, reminds me of the characters from Last of the Mohicans, very sexy. Great fighter who comes to the defense of any underdog and loves listening to his friends' stories. So within us could be animals. Like there was also a dolphin in one of my mirrors. There could be the opposite sex for you. It's definitely, it can change with time. So I'm going to walk you through this beautiful meditation, and just close your eyes and start to go deep within. Take some nice deep breaths into the bowl of your pelvis and feeling your feet on the floor, the chair, or wherever you're sitting, supporting you fully. And just allow yourself to relax and listen to my voice as I guide you through this brief meditation. Feeling completely safe, knowing that you are held and loved. With each breath, feeling more and more relaxed, surrendered, and present with your body and with your heart. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine that you're in this corridor. It's a long hallway with mirrors all across. And just take in the scene. It's dimly lit. You can see, but it's a soft lighting. Maybe there's candelabras or torches or beautiful lamps. Maybe it's recessed lighting. Maybe there's skylights allowing a little bit of the daylight in. So this corridor represents this part of your mind that is ready to access some wisdom from within. So I want you to approach the first mirror that you reach as you walk down this corridor and gaze into the mirror. Now watch your face transform, or maybe it dissolves, and then another face appears. This is a part of you. This is a part of your soul. I want you to spend a moment just in dialogue with this beautiful image in the mirror and ask them their name or what they want to be called. Ask them about how they live their life and their philosophy. Ask them if they have a message for you. Okay. So then you come out of the meditation for a moment, you stay relaxed, and then you write some notes about this archetype, this piece of your soul, this piece of your inner genius. Write down, what did they call themselves? Did they have a name? How did they describe themselves? How would you describe them? How did you experience them? And if they had a message for you. So just take a moment and just write some journal notes on it. And this is, again, how imaginative play process works. You go within, access the being, the inner genius, and you come out and you take notes, and maybe you formulate questions, and then you just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and go back within, ask them to come forward again, and continue the dialogue back and forth. So what I would like you to do again is close your eyes, and we're going to go back in. Relaxing again deeply, taking deep breaths. Knowing that you can return to this particular piece of your soul, this piece of your inner genius anytime. So I want you to walk to the next mirror. And maybe it's even a different style mirror than the other one. And again, do the same thing. Gaze at your image in the mirror. And allow your face to change or dissolve into this next persona, this next piece of you. Who is this archetypal character? What do they look like? What do they call themselves? And how are you experiencing their energy and their personality? And again, ask them if they have a message for you or want you to know anything about yourself or about them. Okay. So open your eyes, staying in your relaxed state, and take notes on the second archetypal figure, this inner figure that has come forward to bring you so much love and wisdom. And if you want to, you can pause the video right now and take longer to write your notes before we go on to the third figure. Okay. So now close your eyes down again, and you're going to go within back to your hall of mirrors. Beginning to switch back and forth between these two states of consciousness. And it gets easier and easier the more you do it. So I want you to walk over to a third mirror. And again, gaze at your image in the mirror and watch it dissolve or fade into the next persona, the face of the next being / inner world figure that wants to talk to you. And again, go through the same process. Get to know them, what their name is. Take in their features, their physical characteristics, their personality, and enjoy the interaction. You could be playful. And ask this beautiful figure if they have a message for you. Okay. So go ahead and open your eyes and again, gently begin to do your journaling work, recording the interaction and anything that you want to remember about the experience. And I'm going to need to move on to my next class. So we're not going to do 7 mirrors today, but that's 3. So your extra credit assignment, your homework, your mission, if you decide to accept, is to continue this work till you get to 7 different figures. And from there, I would pick one that you really you felt a really deep connection with and felt like it has the most wisdom for you, the most genius to offer you in this moment in time. Work with that being for the rest of the week. And so it's a very similar thing. You close your eyes, you go into a meditative state, imaginative state, allowing them to come forward, giving you messages, having a conversation with you, being in communion with this being. And then you kind of come out, write your notes, and maybe the dialogue, you're writing down what they said, and then you're like, oh, I want to ask this question. So then you write down, I went back in and I asked this question. You close your eyes, go back into conversation. You come out, write down their answer. Okay, so this is one of the best ways to work with imaginative play and path working to really access your genius within, bring that magic into your life and business. Okay, so that's the extra credit work. I'm going to offer a free reading, tarot reading. So whoever posts in the Facebook group or underneath this YouTube video, the extra credit work, I will enter you in a contest for that free reading. And I will choose somebody probably Saturday or Sunday. So get posting, do the work, and know that I'm holding you in love and blessings. I know we're headed towards the new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio. That's a week from today. So this is great work to be doing to prepare yourself and stay relaxed, stay grounded, keeping your vibration high. All of those are so important. So thank you again for being with me today. And our next free class is November 4th, and it's all about planning, business planning for the new year. So that's going to be exciting and fun. I hope to see you. All right, many blessings. Bye.